Welcome into the John M. Huntsman Center on the campus of the University of Utah. The side of the 2024 5A State Championship Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. Our playoff coverage is brought to you by Nutricost. It's a Utah-made company for Utah-made athletes. Use the code UtahMade. Get 30% off of your supplement order. Over 300 products available on Nutricost.com. Use UtahMade. Get 30% off their order. Our matchup. The winner moving on to take on the Timpview T-Birds, who just came back, got a great win over Orem. The Alta Hawks versus the Brighton Bengals. Dusty Lister, along with Coach Trey Smith, back in his natural environment of the Huntsman Center. But Trey, if you're a coach and your team lost to a team at the end of the season, you're one of the favorites. You get a chance to be back-to-back champs, and you lose to Brighton. How focused do you think your team would be to play them in the playoffs?
I think the big thing with Brighton, man, they play extremely hard. I think Coach Gardner does a really good job. They're undersized, but they're scrappy, they're tough. But defending champions, Alta, I think they'll be ready for today.
Great thing about this Brighton team, a lot of two-sport athletes. You have a lot of football players, Nash Matheson, Caden Morzalewski. I mean, those guys are both major players on the football team. Morzalewski had to come in and play quarterback at the end of the year. They have a lot of guys that are seasoned, and they get a chance to play together. And Coach Tim Gardner, I think he's only, year one, year two being at Brighton after taking over Coach Miller, was a longtime head coach at Juan Diego High School in the beginnings of Juan Diego basketball. So good to have him back on the sidelines. And, of course, Coach Travis Orn, the head coach of the Alta Hawks. And we'll start with Alta. Ace Reiser got nicked up toward the end of the season. Alta lost her last two games against Olympus and then Brighton, and he seems to be playing better as Dash drops that in to Jackson Johnson. Johnson goes at Easton, terminates, send it back out to Reiser. Dash along the baseline to Goodfellow. And now to Jackson Johnson. The future Ute loses the handle. Loose ball picked up by Caden Morzalewski. Morzalewski to Nash Matheson. Oh, he raced away by Ace Reiser. Pump the three, now pull the three from Easton. And it's a 3-0 start for the Bengals.
Hey, man, this Brighton team, they're tough, man. I think what people tend to forget is I think toughness can take you a long ways in basketball, especially playoff basketball.
Especially in high school. As Johnson with the board and the stick. Jackson looked a little nicked up at the end of that play. Don't know if he's having his intestinal fortitude tried or not, but Easton has that ball over to Soto. Is that Jimmy Soto's boy?
I believe it is. Soto, a Utah guy, man.
Yeah. See, I might wear blue, but I know Utah basketball history. I know Utah football history better than some of your newer fans since 2004. Soto lost that. Reiser tried to save it in, couldn't do it. It'll be Bengal basketball on the baseline.
Hey, Dusty, just remember where we're at, man. Right? Okay,
I'm just saying. I know so many more players. I talk a lot of my Utah friends. I have a lot of them. And I'll name names like who? Exactly. Like, don't test me with that.
Hey, I think if Alta, I think the big thing for Brighton is going to be if they can keep Alta off the boards, right? Yeah. I think that first possession, I think they'll do a really good job of guarding. That second chance opportunity, second chance points, that's going to kill them. So if they want a chance.
Reiser from the corner, no. That's a great point because with Doliak and Johnson, they keep a lot of possessions alive. They just keep the ball up in the air. Inside, this is Mohini. Mohini sends that ball out for three. Then that is Brad Easton.
Hey, that kid's I think he gets close to 80 made threes on the year. Right? I think he's one of the best shooters in the state.
Got to mark a shooter, right? You knew what it's like to have the best shooter in the state on your team. Playing well out of Wolford.
Hey, he's playing well, man. Actually,
awesome.
I just took a trip down there. The wife and I took a trip down there, and we were there for a weekend. 6-man, coming off the bench, he's playing well. But it was fun to see him play, man, and compete. He does a great job. We definitely miss him this year, but it's fun to see, kids move on and have a little bit of success.
As Soto along the baseline, he also got the next game graphic. I saw your post on Instagram.
Man, I got to show love. It's all my guys, man.
Yeah, next game, I had him on Wofford. That's awesome. As that ball saved back in to Johnson. You pass him the baseline out, you're asking for trouble. as Johnson send that over to Ace Reiser. Ace will pull for the deep three off the mark. Rebound taken by the Bengals.
Hey, I think a big key for Brighton today also is if they can neutralize Ace and, keep him from getting guys set up and making plays and, you turn him into a scorer a little bit. I think that's one of their better chances. But I think Ace the head of the snake for this Alta team.
Oh, absolutely is. It's Jackson Johnson with the Euro and the finish. So Jackson Johnson ties us up at 6. And Utah's got to be so excited. I know Craig Smith's excited. I know Coach Burgess is excited to get Jackson Johnson to Utah.
Yeah, I think he'll be a good fit for them, man.
Easton again for 3. Get those threes in now. We saw it last game. We didn't shoot so well on the open end on the portal side. Oh, there's a steal after the steal. Jackson Johnson lays it up, and it's a 1-point game. Momentarily, we'll bring in our third member of our broadcast crew. Kenzie Valentine is working the sidelines for us this morning. Ellery Davidson running their commercials. As there's a steal by Carter Doliak.
Length,
And Soto with a foul on Doliak. Sounds like a Majerus practice, and it'll be inbound on the far side.
Hey, don't get me started on Majerus. I heard some pretty crazy stories about Coach Majerus.
Everyone has,
but
it's because you follow Keith Van Horn. You follow Keith Van Horn on the X app. He zeets great stuff about Rick Majerus.
He does, man. But Andre Miller has some great stories too, man. Back in these days, Utah days, we had camps, and these Doliak would come, Andre Miller, Van Horn, those guys.
Yeah,
they had a lot of good stories, but. Coach Majerus, he did a lot of great things here.
He certainly did. There's a steal. He changed it. He changed what basketball was in Utah.
Hey, great tradition here, man.
Yeah. On the drive, Moini turns that one over, and the loose ball picked up by Carter Doliak. Of course, his father is Michael Doliak, the Utah Ute legend, part of the 98 championship game team. Final Four winner against North Carolina, Anton Jameson and Vince Carter. In the lane is Ace Reiser, the future CSI Eagle. Probably that's Dash Reiser. They all have the same hair. Isaiah has the same hair.
Hey, Dash is tough, man. I love his game. He's a tough player.
Have you seen Isaiah Reiser play yet?
I have.
Dude,
yes.
Isaiah is so good, man.
They're crafty, man. But their skill set's so high, right? I know they're smaller guards, right? But they play extremely hard. They're tough. They're physical. I think they all defend well.
Doliak with the steal. Soto with the block. Soto with the steal. Matheson down the baseline. Couldn't get it. And they're allowing a lot of contact at the rim today. They've allowed a lot. If you notice that this year, they've allowed a lot of contact at the rim as Ace finishes on this end. And Alta takes a 10-9 lead. 30-second timeout brought to you by Utah Facial Plastics.
Hey, you love it, man. You let us see the contact. Let us see the rest play a little bit.
Apple cider vinegar
let the kids just determine the game and let them get out there and compete.
We'll bring it back. It's okay. No problems. We have a couple hiccups there, but Utah Facial Plastics, as Caleb Perkins is here, Utah Facial Plastics, little Botox moment. Hey, if you need a hair restoration, you want to talk about Botox, maybe get some wisdom lines removed like I did. Go to Utah Facial Plastics. Dr. Doug Henstrom is my guy. He's family, literally, my family, and Doug will take care of you. Get a free consultation at Utah Facial Plastics. And give you that number real quick is 801-960-3137. When you hit your 40s, you'll learn this soon enough, Trey. And a long time for you. I got a little wisdom line right there, and Doug took care of it at Christmas time for me.
I'm only 5 years off.
I know, but it's still 5. Okay. 5 years is a long time, bro.
Hey, for those of you out there, I don't know if you guys know about Dusty, but power lifter. I've been on the X watching this guy. I was a little scared coming up here, by the way.
That's why I use Nutricost. That's why Nutricost is a sponsor this week. I use Nutricost creatine, their BCAAs, and also the TMG to help out with the blood pressure stuff.
Love it.
Soto gives that one up.
Find him.
Massive extra pass to Easton. He'll pull on the 3 and hits. 4 threes.
4 in the quarter?
4 in the quarter for Brad Easton. Absolutely feeling it to get started. Drop it in. Doliak kiss it off the glass. Carter Joliak gives the lead back to the Hawks.
And that's what makes Alta so tough, man. They can just beat you in so many ways, right? They have great guard play. They can throw the ball inside, good length, good size, great playmaking.
Find Soto on the baseline. Tied up at 14. We'll get a correction. Joliak is Michael's nephew. Not son. Nephew, not son. I want to thank James Ballstead joining us all the way out at Southern Virginia University, letting me know that I got that wrong. On the drive, Riser with the finish. This is going to be a game, Trey.
Hey, I think it is, man. Brighton got him the second time they played in region. Played him tough, played him well. So I think they have confidence playing against Alta.
Matson sends it out. Easton would have been his 5th three. Like, where are we at? Utah top 50, getting 5 threes and a half.
Got to stay attached to the kid, man, especially on the drive and attack. Got to stay attached to him.
Got loose again.
Lost him again.
His 5th three of the quarter. There's 17 points for the Bengals, 15 of them from Brad Easton. Riser is sent back there by Caden Morzalewski. Drop that ball inside to Joliak and finishes like his uncle at the rim.
Hey, I think the key is for Alta is, when Brighton gets in there and they drive and attack, they touch the paint, you just got to stay attached. You got to make them shoot and finish over length and size. No reason to help, especially strong side.
The question is if you're going to start, I want to say boxing one, but do you start face guarding a little bit on Easton to see if you can cool him off?
You have to, man. I think that's the key, especially in high school basketball, right? The key is you got to take the top 2 guys out of it, and you got to make other players beat you. Other players make shots.
Matheson with the bucket. And at the end of one, it is Brighton 19, Alta 18. What a quarter for Brad Easton. 5 threes in the quarter. You've got our trivia question coming up next, brought to you by Handel's Ice Cream. You're watching the 2024 5A State Basketball Tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back in. Start of the second quarter. Dusty Lister, Coach Trey Smith with you. Austin Bigelow running the camera. Not only here, but all in the Jumbotron. Look at you, Austin. Look where you've gotten to. Look at us. Look where we are. Vince Francis running everything. Ellery Davidson handling all of our commercials. Kenzie Valentine down the sideline. And Coach Trey Smith right by me.
I think Brighton has a lot of confidence right now. A lot of confidence. Only thing killing them is turnovers. They have about 6-7 turnovers. They take care of the basketball, get some shots at the rim. They'd be fun.
We'll have a trivia question here momentarily.
Not for me.
No. We're putting one together. Dane said he had one for every game, and apparently Dane, he gets lax on his mind. Goodfellow short on the 3. Massive battle for that rebound. Goodfellow got away with it. And then hitting the deck and getting the rebound, or loose ball rather, is Josh Mowini. We're called Mowini. Mawynney. This is a wrestling match.
Let them play, man.
And now the foul going to be on Bo Compton getting tied up with Brad Easton. He said, look, he hooked me. He John Stockton versus Jason Williams did.
That might be the second foul call of the game. But as a coach, I love it, though. You want your players to adjust and, just play through contact and play with physicality on both sides of the ball.
Do you tell them, hey, this picture in the fourth quarter is the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
Matheson for 3. The 6-3 of the half for the Bengals. Nash was clutch as a wide receiver at Brighton as well. I called him the governor. The 3 on the way from Riser, short. Rebound to Soto.
I think the key in this game is sometimes you look at it and you get in a big gym like this.
It's Soto for 3.
And you don't think teams are going to come out and shoot the basketball that well. Brighton's made 7 of them.
Oh, man.
7 of them things, man.
Down the lane is Riser to the rim, and Ace can't get that one to go. 6 threes in the half for the Brighton Bengals. And if it's you on the sideline, like, hey, they've got to regress to the mean. It's not to say they can't keep shooting, but most likely they're not going to keep shooting this level. Got to weather the storm, keep it within striking distance. Is that what you're talking about?
I think the key is, one, you can't let their shooters get hot. But the last couple of shots they've made, they've been wide open looks, right? Like, you want to contest shots, want to contest threes. But at the end of the day, I think it'll come down. Their averages will come down a little bit, and they'll start missing some shots. But if you don't contest them, that rim's going to get bigger and bigger.
Free throw line brought to you by NutriCost. Over 300 products available by a Utah-made company. And NutriCost, use the code UtahMade, get 30% off. If you want to power lift like Trey Smith, get it done.
Hey, I'm on my 100 push-ups a day challenge.
Are you really?
I love it, man. I started last Monday with one of my assistant coaches. It's going well.
Kyle Collinsworth's all about that. As that shot goes for Soto, just a couple of Utah-born point guards doing 100 push-ups a day. Look at you.
Man, that was a great game between Tim View and Orem.
Oh,
man.
It certainly was. That ball out of bounds off of Brighton will stay here.
But seeing my guy Jace, Coach Savita over at Orem doing really good things, man. I know they just lost a tough one, but he does a really good job for that program, and I know he's also a Utah alumni guy.
Yes, he is.
He did great things here, yes, sir, and a Brighton Bengal.
3 on the way and good from Papke. Zach Papke for 3. And that's the thing with Alta. They can shoot the 3 for Brighton, but Alta's going to get their shots going as well.
Inside out, good basketball.
That's
a great skip pass.
You leave Bo Compton and Zach Papke alone. They're going to make it hurt.
Oh, that is tough.
Shot from the corner. Oh, we got a foul on the shot. So you go close out on the 3, and you give him 3 free throws. The foul will go to Goodfellow, and that is going to put Brett Easton at the line for 2 free throws.
That's probably one of the most frustrating things as a coach, and I'm sure Coach Orem is, feeling some way right now. Fouling a three-point shooter, especially a kid that shoots a high clip from the free throw line.
Easton misses on the first.
That miss is my fault. Shouldn't have said anything.
See, I believe in the broadcaster jinx. I really do. And there's some broadcasters that make it a point to prove that it's not real. And I guess I'm a baseball guy, and so I believe in superstitions and I believe in jinxes.
It's a real thing.
It's an absolute real thing.
When they pull it up and they pull up something on Steph Curry, greatest shooter we've ever seen. He says he's made the last 89 free throws. He misses the next one every time.
Every time. And the second free throw, or probably the last 2, good. So 2 or 3 there from Easton. The only time he's not scoring 3 points on any shot or opportunity he's had today. Nice passing, got down low in the finish to Doliak, and the Doliak having a first half as well.
Hey, great play. Way to get the ball to Johnson in that high post.
And that ball off the leg of Easton. And Johnson's such a good passer. You think he's your best player, maybe you want the ball a ton. He's a good passer. As we got a timeout on the floor taken by Brighton. It'll be a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. And it's a full timeout. We'll take it as well. 5:09 left in the half. You're watching the 5A State Tournament on KSLSports.com.
This is NutriCost Kids Vitamin D Gummies. They contain a child's daily dose of vitamin D for a healthy immune system. They taste amazing, kids love them, and they're low in sugar. Easy for parents, great for kids.
Welcome back in. Dusty Lister, Trey Smith with you. As Alta gets this game down to 4 points, and they found a way to somewhat stymie this shooting from Brighton. Oh, Papke was open. Ace didn't see him. Ace going to drive the base.
Tough.
Reverse it and score it, Ace Reiser.
Kid's crafty, man. I think the kid's under-recruited.
Oh, 100%.
Right? I think any coach, right, that wants a winning player in their program wants a winner and a tough kid, right?
Yep.
Like, you got to give that kid a shot. You really do.
Nash, Matheson. So, yeah, Dusty, they stymied the shooting. They sure did. That's 8 threes in the half.
Hey, Brighton keeps shooting like this, man. You get to that fourth quarter, they got a great shot, great chance.
And we'll see how they do when they switch sides. We saw this in the first half. Orem lit it up on one side of the floor. They struggled that whole second half on this end as Doliak gets that one to go. And here's the funny part, and this is kind of bringing back. Last time we played at the University of Utah, Alta came in riding high into the state tournament. Bonneville shot the absolute lights out and won that game to get to the semifinals and upset that team with Hayden and Johnson and others. So down the lane, Matheson sends it out. Soto gets open for 3 off the front of the iron.
Toughness.
Rebounds loose. Jackson Johnson has it. And now a jump ball. Possession arrow belongs to the Hawks.
What you want to see, man? I'm telling you, Brighton is a tough basketball team. I think the biggest thing is what people don't understand is a lot of kids in high school, they play hard, right?
Yep.
But there's not a lot of players and teams that like compete at a high level every single possession. And that's why Brian's in this position right now.
Absolutely. Is Reiser in the lane. Ace got Easton off his feet,
Crafty,
got inside of him. He stayed patient and scores, and it's a 1-point game. Now, if you're the coach to hit all these shots and you look up and it's a 1-point game, what's the feel?
I think the biggest thing that's kind of slowed Brighton down from stretching the lead has been their turnovers. I want to say they have 8, 9 turnovers in this first half. There's still 3 minutes left. But you got to take care of the basketball. If you're not taking care of the ball, that's the key, man.
Loose ball picked up by the Bengals. Send that into the corner. Now got it inside and one. The first and one we've had in a while. Josh Moini gets the and one underneath the hoop. And he'll go the line.
The way they've been playing this game and calling this game, I didn't see a lot there. I'm letting that one just go.
Especially the way it's been called. And again, I think you hear me say this all the time, and you say it as a coach. Hey, just keep it consistent. If we're not going to call little bangs down low on shots, like just make sure we don't call them all day.
That's all coaches want, man. Yeah. Consistency. If you're going to have a quick whistle, that's fine. Have it on both ends. If you're going to let them play, let them compete. But I didn't think that was a great call.
Yeah, not from the stuff we've seen. I did the Leighton Copper Hills game last night. That was an absolute slugfest in that one.
Leighton is tough, man.
He's so good.
They are tough.
Dave Katoa does everything. Is in the lane. Reiser, pass and crash. Pass and crash on Ace Reiser, and I'll give this. Nash Matheson was outside the restricted area, picking up that contact and getting the foul call.
Hey, it's a game-changing play. It's a winning play. Winning play. But that kid is, I'm going to say it again. My favorite word of the day is going to be tough. Toughness is going to win the day. Toughness is going to win the day.
So, give the ball back to the Bengals with 2.5 left in the first half.
Substitution number 25, Sean Dudley.
So Dudley checks on the floor for Coach Gardner. They're trying to find the big man. Matheson goes at Johnson. Jackson did a nice job of staying patient.
Good deep.
And we're going to have an offensive, or probably a loose ball foul, rather, going to be called on Sean Dudley.
Rebound foul on number 25, Sean Dudley. His first personal and the second team foul.
Alta needs to stay aggressive here. Get downhill. I know there's 2 minutes left in the quarter, but they have 4 fouls right now. Oh, read that wrong. Brian only has 2 fouls.
Yeah.
Good high-low action.
High-low into Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Hope for a foul call. Didn't get it. And now we'll have a loose ball foul on Alta. And this is going to be on Goodfellow. It'll be number 2 on Goodfellow. It'll be the 15th on Alta. It's shooting free throws on the other end of the floor. That's a 15th foul and on a loose ball.
What do you think about the new bonus rule?
I actually like it. I like that it's reset. I like that you reintroduce defense at the beginning of quarters, because when we went to 7 fouls and all that kind of stuff, I wish we had the one-on-one. Let's give you that one. I wish we had one-on-one at 5 and double bonus at 7.
I like it.
That's the only change to it.
I do think it just changes strategy up big time, though, man.
Yeah.
It does change it up. But, But
I like reintroducing defense at the beginning of a quarter.
For sure.
I mean, think back when those great Lone Peak teams with Quincy Lewis, even with David Evans, those Lone Peak teams had 6 fouls at the end of the quarter, at the end of the first. Until the whole second quarter, there is no defense.
Yep.
And you have that happen a lot in the game, especially when the team just get kind of bludgeoned over the head. And we reintroduced the defense in the second quarter. I tell you, look, officials make adjustments, everything else, and then we kind of reset it.
Oh, yeah. But I think it just keeps the flow of the game, too.
I agree.
So I love the change. I like the change. Something, I know he's got a shot clock.
Yep.
Was it a year or 2 ago?
Yeah, last year.
For last year, and I'm hoping that we could take that down to 30 seconds. And then on offensive rebounds, we reset it to like 20.
The funny thing is, I wonder your clock keeper how well they'll be able to hit the right button to go to halves. As a nice take and make by Zach Papke. I think it's part of it. You have to you have to mistake proof it. So we don't remember how many stops we had at the beginning of the shot clock.
Yeah,
which was fun. Hey, we'll get through this. But now, if we did a half button,
yep,
I think we'd have a lot of whoa.
That's true. That's true. And I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I'm asking for a lot, But I'm always trying to think ahead, man. But I do.
$65 only pays for so much.
That's true. You're right.
If that's even what they get. A lot of times, just someone that loves being in the game.
That's facts, man. There goes a lot. There's a lot that goes into a high school basketball season.
Absolutely.
Man.
Jackson,
kids got to do a lot. 5 on the shot clock.
Good job by Johnson. 3 on the shot clock. No. Johnson with a swat on Soto, and then stripped away by McKay. That's the quarterback on the floor. Yep, 2 quarterbacks out there, Matt McKay, and then Morzalewski. Oh, nice move by Dash. Baseline J, short. Tipped out of bounds by Matt McKay, and it will go down the floor with the Bengals.
Does Brighton try to get a 2-for-1 here? Or do they run?
How many teams are thinking about that right now? Because I don't think we've seen a whole lot of this. Get a 2-for-1.
Nah, a little late now. I don't think they do it. But, there's some coaches, some teams that like the flow. If you have a player that can go and get a good shot, pull up 3, then I think give it a shot. But they're gonna hold this ball, wait it out. High ball screen. Good pass.
Inside, nice finish. Josh Mawini. And it's a 6-point lead. Chance for Alta with 10 seconds. Johnson, pump it, pull it. Misses it. Rebound. Mawini gives that one up to Easton.
That's going in.
That just happened. It's just a little short. And that'll do it for the first half. At the end of 2 quarters, the Brighton Bengals shot the lights out, and they lead 39-33 over the reigning 5A champion, Alta Hawks. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with halftime shows. You're watching the 2024 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships, and our coverage brought to you by NutriCost. And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Dusty Litster and Trey Smith with you. As we get ready for the second half. Kenzie Valentine, I think she had a chance to catch at least one of the coaches, and when she wasn't able to. All right, we'll have Kenzie have some opportunities here later on. As I know Coach Horn's got plenty of things he's going to try to work on. I don't know if he's ready to give some second half thoughts.
I think the key here for Alta is just guarding the 3-point line. If they can make Brighton do something they don't want to do, get into the paint, try to score it. Stay attached 3-point shooters on the end, just like they're doing here. A really good job. Really good job.
Well, we're going to find out. Dane and I always talk about this, too, especially when we're at the D Event Center. D Event Center, that portal is so extended and so different. We'll see if the shooting continues for Brighton as Matheson misses on the first attempted 3 on this end of the floor. And down the floor with the Hawks, as they found their offense in the second quarter. It was a little slow out the gate. Brighton shot the lights out in that first quarter, as down the lane and scoring is Ace Reiser.
If there's anybody who's going to will Alta back and give him the best chance, it's going to be Ace. I'm telling you, man, kick and play. Any college coaches out there, you want a winner on your team, you got to give the young buck a chance.
The 3 does not go for Easton. So 0 for 2 from the 3 on this end of the floor. Beautiful find. And Doliak is fouled by Brad Easton. And that's your part. When that young man's got him in the post, feed that post, see if you can get some fouls on him to get that to slow him down too, right?
No, I think the key, man, like I said, Alta's probably they're the most versatile, team in 5A, right? Inside out, great guard play. They're big, they're physical, they can score. They have a 3-level scoring team, right? So,
and the free throw no good for Carter Doliak. He had 10 points in the first half. Did Carter on 5 of 5 shooting. Did not miss a field goal. Granted, he got a lot of layups, but you're going to miss some layups from time to time, and goes 0 for 2 from the stripe there.
Ooh.
Johnson lucky not to pick up a personal foul.
Those are bad ones. Coaches don't like those ones. 94 feet. Coaches don't like those.
So let's at least make him earn it down the floor at 94 feet. Is Easton. Sends out to Soto. He is the nephew of Coach Jimmy Soto. We're just on the nephew train today. As Matheson works his way across the lane, can't get it. Rebound to Johnson.
You can see, I think the key switch up for Coach Orn and Alta is on drives and attacks. You just got to stay attached. No reason to suck in, no reason to help. Just stay attached to shooters and make guys finish over you.
Got a mismatch. Doliak down low. Reiser goes inside out to Dash. Misses on the 3. Rebound taken away by Easton. We'll have a Handles trivia question coming up after our next dead ball. I want to thank Handles for their sponsorship of the trivia question.
Ooh.
As that ball's out of bounds, Easton stepped on the line.
I think in the second half, we're going to see some scoring go down. I think possession slowed down. I think the pace slows down a little bit.
So here's Ace Riser. Step back to a 3. No. Rebound. Taken by the Brighton Bengals. He's talking about Brighton just the right spots. As here comes Soto. Give that up. Mawhini blocked away by Johnson. And that's off of Mawhini, and that's going to go down the floor with the Hawks.
A lot of contact. But that's how the game's been officiated all afternoon.
And that's the thing, is they've allowed a lot of that contact. That's why we were shocked at the foul we had underneath the hooper in that first half. We're like, really? Because it was just surprising, because they have let a lot go at the rim and continue to.
But you love it, though.
I appreciate it. I'm here for it. Riser sends that back to Johnson. Jackson down the baseline, hangs, hits, and one.
Number 13, Jackson Johnson. Foul, number 1, Josh Mulway.
Get shrunk take. But Brighton, you got to come over. Weak side guys come over and help a little bit on that.
At the free throw line will be Johnson shooting 1.
3 free throws missed for Alta in this quarter. That's big time.
Turnover, and now on the run with the Hawks. He kind of danced around that midcourt line, didn't he? Here goes Dash Riser, send it out to Ace. Dolyak back outside, Dash Riser, 4-3.
Timeout. Yep.
Timeout, Coach Gardner. Alta takes a 40-39 lead. It's a Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We'll take it with them. You're watching the 2024 5A State Tournament. Coverage brought to you by NutriCost.
This is apple cider vinegar from NutriCost. This is apple cider vinegar from another leading brand. NutriCost has 500 milligrams of apple cider vinegar. So does this other brand. NutriCost is third-party tested, non-GMO, and gluten-free. This other brand? Well, we're not sure. NutriCost is also available at a great price delivered right to your door. NutriCost has over 500 different products for health and wellness. NutriCost, only what you need.
And everybody's kind of going quick in this timeout. We're still bumping a little Macklemore.
You love it.
I feel like we're at the Powder League on the drive with Matheson. Got it around Dolyak, and the seesaw continues.
Good old Powder League, man. They do a really good job at that, man. I think the program in Utah, there's a lot of good players here.
A lot of good history here, and they get some guys to come back in. As nice pass, Dash to his older brother Ace. And that handles trivia question will be coming up soon. We had to just make sure we're all on the same. Here's the other thing Trey doesn't know. We're giving away a Crumble 4-pack whenever we give out movie quotes. As there is Easton, 4-3, his sixth 3, his first since the first quarter.
You got to make him bounce it, man. I know the kid has good length, good size. He can shoot over the top of it, but you got to really get up underneath him and make him put the ball on the deck.
Maybe I'll make Trey Smith. You know, sometimes Dane and I just put in movie quotes or show quotes, and you go, name the show. You don't have to do it now, but just as it comes off, right?
I'm not the guy. I am not the guy. I'm not the guy.
No, because you'll go with like some, different movie.
I have the memory of a goldfish, man. It's bad. Ask my wife.
The shortest memory of any animal in God's kingdom, a goldfish, at least according to Ted Lasso.
Hey, I love Ted Lasso.
I do too.
That's a good show right there.
You won't find someone to watch that show more than me than maybe Vince Francis. I watched that whole first season in one day, and then I had shoulder surgery. Then I watched it lots of times after that.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
So tied up at 44, 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the running clock in the third quarter. Easton hands back to Matheson. Nash pulls Did not pull the trigger. Here's Easton looking inside, end up going out. Wahini saves it back in. It's Ace ahead to Doliak. Carter ahead with the dunk. 46-44 Alta.
You got to turn those stops into points. Alta did a really good job. Doliak did a really good job leaking out, getting a dunk for him. That's a momentum shifter play right there.
Well, that's a great job on the denial, on the trying to get that entry to Mohini that pulled the ball out.
Staying attached, man. I think that's what's changed for Alta in the second half is really good job staying attached to shooters, making Brighton finish over the top. But as you can see, I think they're trying to post up Soda a little bit on the smaller guards.
As Matson maybe got an extra step or two. Let's see if we have this on our replay.
Wow, number 15, Carter Dolia for Alta.
I think that's clean, man. Yeah. I see a lot of refs make that travel call, and I think it's just the pace, right? I think good players understand the pace and like flow of the game, and kids are highly skilled now, right? So when referees see long strides or slowed down steps, they see travels, but I think that's just a good play.
So NutriCost free throw line. Again, get 30% off your order at NutriCost.com. Use the code UTAHMADE. NutriCost is a Utah-made company making Utah-made products for Utah-made athletes. Utah-made, 30% off your order. And it's funny, you talk to officials, just like an athlete, they realize they have some gaps in their game. We had a really good official telling us once, guys, I'm not great at travels. He's like, I really struggle with travels. And he owned it. And I was like, that's kind of cool to know.
I think that's one of the best things, man. I think that's what makes
Johnson along the baseline, and they call travel on that one.
That's what makes great officials, right? If you own up to, mistakes, or just like coaches, just like players, right? Everybody has a lot of getting better to do.
Just want to see if I can get another look at it. I don't know if we got a great one there. I waited a second, hit the button. So that's a flub on the instant replay guy, the Utah Facial Plastics replay. Oh, nice find on the backside. Moini blocked away by Doliak. And we got a foul.
Foul on number 15, Carter Dolia.
Probably went a little too far back. See if we can get a good look at it here.
Great drive, gate cut.
2 shots. Will be Josh Mulwin.
Mulwin misses on the first. Tied up at 46 apiece. We knew that this 5A state tournament would be good. I really did. We thought it would be great. We thought Alta may have been head and shoulders above teams in 5A, but Brighton plays them obviously tough. We talk about the win at the end of the season, playing them tough here. If this is any indication of the next 2 games, because game 1 was an absolute classic, this game here is shaping up to be one, and the next 2 games are region matchups.
Oh yeah, and that's the best part about the state tournament, man. When you play teams twice throughout the year, and then you get on a big stage, you got to play them again. Whether you beat them twice, whether you split the series 1-1, it's tough.
Carter Doliak now 6 for 6 from the floor. Down the lane, Matheson. And lucky on Johnson with that arm coming down, not pick up the foul. Gets the defensive rebound, 50 seconds on the running clock. There's Jackson Johnson. Probably the best and highest recruited player on the floor. He doesn't force it. As Dash gets that off, traveling first, and going to wipe off a bucket on that traveling violation.
I thought that was a good call. I thought he failed before he let the ball go.
Nearly got that one off. As we got maybe 2 possessions left. Maybe 2 possessions left in this quarter. 30 seconds on the shot clock, about a 3-second difference between game and clock.
It's important for Brighton to make sure they get the last shot of the quarter. You don't want to take a shot with more than 8 seconds left on the clock. Even if they miss, it's got to make sure Alta doesn't get another possession.
Shot clock down to 10. 5 seconds now. Matheson with 3, 2. Easton, good defense by Compton. Shot clock violation. They should put some more time on the clock. Should be about 3.2 seconds. Because remember, that clock should stop right at the buzzer. 4.2.
That's great defense by Alta. Being disciplined, man.
Oh, and Travis can take a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. We'll stay here. Utah Facial Plastics Brotox moment. 30-second timeout. I want to thank Utah Facial Plastics for jumping in and sponsoring our timeouts and our replays here at the state tournament. And as I mentioned before, Utah Facial Plastics, important to me. You've got family there. 801-960-3137. The best plastic surgeons. And all of that. You think it's just cosmetics. It can be. But a lot of times you have something you got to get fixed. You got a nose issue, bad breathing, causing issues. Go see our friends at Utah Facial Plastics. And then again, if you want to get rid of one of those wisdom lines like I did, go there as well.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get some too.
Are you?
These kids are making me old, man.
You need 2 more. Trust me. When you get to 4, brother, I mean, that stresses the forehead and the heart.
4 is out of reach, man. Can't do it.
Get
2 might be enough for me.
I got a preteen. I got a daughter that turns 12 on Wednesday. 2 seconds. 1 second. Ace at the horn. Oh, nearly got it to go. We've got a great fourth quarter coming up. We're through 3 quarters. It's Alta 48, Brighton 46. You're watching the 2024 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. And welcome back into the Huntsman Center. Let's go to our handles trivia question. If you respond first and correctly at KSL Sports Rewind on our X or on our Instagram, how many state championships does Alta have in basketball? How many state championships does Alta have in basketball? Hit us up at KSL Sports Rewind on X or on Instagram. You could Zed at us. You can message us. You can go to our Instagram and respond as well. The first and correct answer that comes in, you get a $10 gift card to Handles, only redeemable at Handles on 114th South at Fort Union and Ogden. I want to thank Handles for stepping in and sponsoring our fun questions that Dane and I usually just put out in the ether. Now we got something to come back. And then we still have our movie quote, our pop culture moment with Crumble coming up later. As that passes out of bounds. I'm gonna get Trey. He's gonna give us a quote somewhere, just by accident. He's gonna say something and like, name the movie, name the show, and then we're gonna give out a Crumble 4-pack.
I'm telling you, man, I ain't got nothing for you, man. I wish I did.
That's good on you. You don't. It means you're more active than I am.
I try to be, man, but I think that me and my wife, we just watch terrible television.
Okay, well, TV counts. TV shows count. TV shows count. I mean, even if it's a really good meme, here's a 3 from Jackson Johnson. His first 3 of the day for the future youth. I think it's the largest lead of the day for Alta. Even if it's a good meme, like that guy, that blank, blank, blank ain't real. If you can give me that girl's actual name, I'd give you the Crumble. That's not what's happening. But that'd be a Crumble 4-pack. Nash Matheson loses the handle, got it back inside, can't get the finish. Rebound to Johnson.
I'm telling you, man, key for Alta, right?
What a steal by Soto. And now Johnson gives up the foul. This isn't college basketball. That is not an intentional foul, which is one of the worst rules.
I haven't been keeping up too much with basketball, but I did just see Creighton got a big win against UConn.
Yes, they did. Days ago. Steven Splashworth.
He went crazy.
5 of 13 from 3. He wasn't getting those shots at the beginning of the year. Steven was trying to figure his way into that team.
That's a big win, though, man.
3 from the corner from Easton. Wow, he nearly banked that in. He nearly went Larry Bird on that one. Whoa, Ace wasn't looking. Dash was kicking that over to Big Bro, and he wasn't paying attention. And the ball goes back to Brighton.
Hey, what I like about that by Ace, right? Knows he made a mistake, gives him a high five, leadership. Don't put your head down, move on to the next play.
Oh, nice hands.
Yep, gets it right back.
Ace with the steal. Ace goes at Easton, and then he gets the foul call, and it'll be Ace Reiser going to the line. The foul to Brad Easton, I think it's just his second.
And that's the key, man. Like, you look at the flow of the game and how the game's been played, right? But I think what separates good teams from championship level teams is just moving on to the next play. Alta just made they just had a bad turnover, but he turns around, gets a steal. Now he's at the free throw line, can push the lead up to 7.
Free throw good again. This is Nutra-Cost free throw line. First one good from Ace. And the second off the mark, and Doliak nearly had the tip in.
For Brighton.
Oh, there's a steal again. Back down the floor, and Doliak lays it up and in. Timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We'll be back. 6:06 left in the fourth quarter. You're watching the 2024 5A state tournament. Oh, congratulations to Jace Carden. He answered correctly 5 state basketball championships in the history of Alta High School. 1992, 95, 2003, 2010, and then last year, 2023, the 5 titles for the Alta Hawks.
Key for Brighton.
Oh, nice hands there by Ace Reiser. Kid's so good. Gonna go to CSI. Doesn't have to.
No, I think that's a great school for him, man.
I think so too. I'm just saying that there's other schools out there. Weber, somebody else, as Doliak gets to the rim and finishes.
But I think I have a few coaches at coaching college, and right now, kind of the landscape is, a lot of kids are going that JUCO route. A lot of D1 colleges, they want to see kids that have kind of proven themselves a little bit.
Oh, nice take and finish by Nash Matheson.
And get a year or two, JUCO ball underneath their belt before they, move to D1.
They just love the transfer portal. That's really what it is. The transfer portal is where they build their team now.
And some coaches have just a whole new roster year by year, man. It's tough. It's tough.
It's crazy. No continuity.
No.
And honestly, it's where you got to be, if you're a basketball guy, college purist, is Jackson Johnson on the drive to the rim and the finish. And now they're starting to spread out here. But what I was about to say is if you love college basketball, I'm not saying you have to, but you love BYU because there's only a couple of transfers on the team. They're all guys who are all part of a team that was middling in the WCC and losing games they shouldn't lose.
But that's why BYU's been so good these past few games and this year is because they got continuity, they got chemistry. Coach Pope's done a really good job, and shout out to Coach Fugger as well. I think he's also obviously a big part of that, man, but they're doing a great job. Really good job in the Big 12 so far.
And you go get one transfer like Ali Khalifa, and he fits. That dude just fits. Is the free throw no good there from Matheson? Because it's been
I want to say BYU's the best three-point shooting team in the state. I mean, in the
country?
In the country.
Right up there. They had the highest assists, too, as the free throw was no good. And we talked about this. Danny and I are going to keep track of this. This left side of the floor, Orm went cold on this end of the floor. We've seen a little bit from Brighton tonight, or this afternoon. The 3, no good. And the rebound to Johnson. Johnson blocked away by Easton. Mercy.
Here's where you got to make them pay. You're playing with numbers right now.
Oh, nice find inside to Soto. And then the foul to Doliak, and to put Soto at the line for 2 free throws.
Foul, number 15, Carter Doliak.
And Coach Travis Horns, hey,
that's his third.
what we got to do? But the other part, too, is just we've had a lot of contact, and there was a lot there. He just wants to know what the difference is.
I think I know Brighton's down 10. You got 4 minutes left to go in the game. You're not going to get it all back at once. One possession, one stop at a time. You get us to do a good job of, you got to stop the clock. You got to stay aggressive. You don't got to get in this mode of just jacking up threes, jacking up bad shots. Play your game, slow the game down a little bit. Get stops.
Reiser circles out to Ace. Ace on the drive. Ball stripped away. And Easton picks up the loose ball.
Big possession here.
Soto, 4-3. 5-point ball game, 2 possessions.
Brian showing a full court 2-2-1 right now. Trying to speed up Alta.
Oh,
and they are.
They're hunting. Got the hands on the ball. Here comes Soto. Can't get the back-to-back. Good contest there by Ace to get back on that ball. It was Compton up top. And now a timeout granted to Coach Travis Horn. 3:14 left in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break. It's Utah Facial Plastics timeout. We'll be right back. 3:14 left in the fourth quarter. Dusty Litster and Trey Smith with you.
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Coach Roberts, man, up at Dixie. He's my guy. He's my guy, man. And he's done a really great job, for that program. And I think they have a really good shot of winning 4A this year.
They do. They got Leighton Christian coming up.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun matchup. I think if you think of great matchups, you go in each classification, there are teams you hope that you would expect to see and say, hey, this game's going to be awesome. And 4A, that is the only way Dixie's going to get contested. And 4A was against Leighton Christian.
Oh, definitely.
Fire that ball inside to Doliak with a finish.
Big play.
I still don't think Doliak's missed. Now, again, they're all going to be around the rim, but still, we got plenty of guys that miss bunnies.
True. It's a tough shot.
Soto. Man. Jackson Soto, and then the timeout to Coach Gardner with 2:37 left to see this finish here.
I think that's Brighton's last timeout.
60-second.
It's a 60-second timeout. We hate doing this. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2024. 30-second timeout. We'll keep here. We'll stay here, Ellery. We'll keep it here. So, if you're coach, help me understand some of the thought process here. When you make a bucket, take a timeout. What's the why? Why take the timeout after it made bucket?
Well, I think the key is, I think Coach Gardner, he wants to make sure his team understands, what defenses we're going to be, what they're going to be in after they score baskets. And I think from here on out, they're going to either come out in their full court 2-2-1 that they've been in, wanting to trap corners, or, they might go early and put someone on the ball in the full court and trap the first pass coming in, but I think it's just getting all 5 of those guys on the same page, what they need to do for the next 2.5 minutes.
Make sure that defense is set out of that make. So 2:37 to go in the fourth quarter.
I think every bucket from here, Brighton has to come out in this 2-2-1, and they got to stay in it.
There's Dash Riser. Working it up top again for Alta. They can be deliberate in their possessions down the stretch, use the shot clock. Send it out. Dash for 3. Got it.
Big.
Dash Riser. And out Travis Horn takes it timeout. And he'll have 2 remaining. And we'll take this one. 2:09 left. You're watching the 2024 5A state tournament.
Full timeout. Charge 2-0.
2:09 left in the fourth quarter. Dusty Lister, Trey Smith. I want to thank Austin Bigelow and Vince Francis and Ellery Davidson. Kenzie Valentine's going to do some post-game interviews. So watch out for the Kenzie Valentine post-game show. There's Matheson. Gives that one to the cutting. Moini, they're going to call on the floor. No shot. On the floor, no shot. It'll be a foul. Put the ball on the baseline. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter. Alta has 2 timeouts left. Brighton has none. And I was misreading. I think I did what you did earlier. I looked at the fouls and the other timeouts. We got the marks.
I think for Alta, we can't give up a 3. Can't give up a 3 here. Got to stay attached.
Brad Easton, 4-3. His 7th. He had 5 in the first quarter.
Shots like that, that's a tough shot, man. I thought that was great defense, just better offense.
Yeah, if he makes that kind of shot, you got to tip your cap.
Yep.
Take care of the basketball for Alta. And if you're Brighton, speed them up, see if you can get a turnover. And Soto gives away the foul. That'll be just a second-team foul on the Bengals. They got to give away 3 more.
That's Soto's third personal and the second team foul.
Got a few to give. I think you got to try to stretch this game out a little bit. Look at it. There's not many possessions left in this ball game.
Oh, inside to Ace Riser. Sends it out to Jackson Johnson. They're going to reset the offense. Nice find to Doliak. And Doliak lays it up and in. You cannot be careless. And there's a steal to Johnson. Men cannot be careless. What movie? Hit us up. Get a 4-pack from Crumble. Dash Riser with the dagger.
What a shot.
Soto, no. Give him the foul. Put him at the line. Big shot from the youngster, Dash Riser.
2 big shots, man, in the last about minute for the young fella, man. I tell my kids all the time, like, you just can't be scared of the moment. He ain't scared of the moment.
Oh. Sophomore corner 3 for Dash. He and his cousin Isaiah, they are 2 stars in the making in the state of Utah. As Soto knocks down the first. Soto just a junior. He'll be back next year. Not a lot of seniors in the 5A side, Coach.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking forward to that.
Soto makes them both. Only 3 seniors on the roster for Brighton. As Compton breaks loose, sent out again. Dash riser. Doesn't go. Rebound. Matheson saves it in. Got it to Easton. Man. Soto. Short on the 3. Got it in the hands of Easton. Blocked away by Johnson. And then an open layup for Doliak. And the state champs, reigning champs, are punching their ticket back to the semifinals as Matheson misses on the 3. And that will do it. As Alta bring the ball in the front court, they avenged the loss at the beginning, or probably at the end of the regular season. They felt like he sent Alta into a tailspin into the state tournament. They get a dominant win against Roy at home, and now they get the win over Brighton, who shot terrifically in the first half. The defense from Alta proved out. Their leadership proved out. Trey, your thoughts on this game?
No, man, I think the key, and we saw it at the end of the game, was Alta's experience, man. So when you have great guard play, I thought the rivals were great. I thought Doliak and Johnson were great. You know, great job, though. I thought Brighton shot the ball extremely well, giving themselves a chance. I just thought turnovers was a little – it caught up to them in the second half.
Your selection of a player of the game?
On the 27th at 7 p.m.
I'm going to give it to Ace. You know, I'm not big on, you know, maybe he didn't have the most points, or I know he controlled the game, controlled the pace of the game. But I thought his leadership, I thought that's what got him over the top.